Family, as always, man, I love the Career Clinic. I always feel like there's some nuggets that the Lord has dropped on me to share with you. And today's clinic is about bricks. Yeah, bricks. I love the idea of bricks because they're easy to conceptualize in terms of we use bricks to build things. In fact, when I was at Allstate, I was running what was called Affinity Solutions, brand new business, aspirational idea of growing this $1 billion business over 5 years. Man, a lot of challenges. And one of the things my manager at the time said, Don Bailey, such a good guy, said, it's like building a cathedral, right? Piece by piece. We ran with that concept because it was like building a new cathedral that doesn't exist today. This did not exist inside the company. We had to do a lot of pulling people together, patchwork initially, then got a bigger team, so on and so forth. But it was so helpful to me in terms of visualizing that cathedral. We actually got them made, these glass cathedrals for the team that everyone could have. So they could have one on their desk at home, wherever they chose to have it. And I still have mine. It just sticks with me. But the idea from there then was, yeah, we're building that we see brick by brick. And what I want to say to you, family, as you're managing your career, you're working through development, you're looking at a vision God has for you, looking for a vision that you've written down. How do you think about bricks? Like, what is a brick and what is not? Because it's important to focus on bricks. And if you think about it this way, even small bricks, I always love this statement again. What's the smallest amount of change you can make to the smallest amount of people to make the largest impact? Not everything in life is a brick that is adding to the building that you are trying to construct. It's amazing because most of us feel like we never have enough time in our day, in our week, etc. Next thing you know, we're like, wow, I guess July and we're doing mid-year reviews and half the year is gone. But we also have to be cognizant of what we allow to consume our time. If it's not a brick that is adding to the building of that which you need to construct, you have to decide whether or not you're going to give it your time and attention. It's easy to add things to our plate in terms of things we want to do. Oh, it's much more difficult to take things away. Just look at your calendar next week and look at all the items on your calendar. Ask yourself, are those bricks? Are those things that will contribute positively to what it is I am trying to build? Just look at that and ask yourself. So again, my takeaway for you is to ultimately ask yourself, what is it that you are called to build? Where are your gifts and talents leading you? What is the vision that is on your heart? What is the burden that moves you? And how are you chasing that? One final thing I'll say about bricks is, and I've had to learn this the hard way, is what we perceive as bricks and what we don't. People are bricks, family. I had somebody tell me once, I was asking for some feedback. I was going through this developmental exercise and, we were doing our visions and doing Myers-Briggs or Hogan, one of those assessments. And through that, they said, not only do we want you to do it, we want you to ask some people about you. And one person who I trust dearly, having worked together professionally and continued a personal relationship with her and her family, my wife, etc. I said, hey, can you fill this out? She gladly filled it out. One of the things that she said that struck me was, without knowing, you can, in an unintended way, maybe move past people who aren't moving fast enough to keep up with you. And I had to sit back and really listen to that. You can move past people unconsciously. It's not intentional. But man, if they're not keeping up with you, you may brush past them and keep moving. And she wasn't talking about, by the way, just people randomly around. She was talking about people on my team, right? She had worked with me. We had worked together at JP Morgan Chase, so she'd seen me operate. And I said, wow, that's interesting. And so I had to analyze that. And one of the things in my self analysis was maybe I didn't see them as a brick. When the fact is, it's not, sometimes we're looking at a direct piece of work. Like I want to get from A to D today. And they're not helping me move from A to B or from B to C or from C to D. But you know what? Here's the beautiful thing when we think about people. In God's kingdom, no one is disposable, family. In God's kingdom, no one is disposable. The only question we need to ask is, where does that brick need to be placed? Every person is valuable. The question is, where do they need to be placed in the building of what we're constructing? So, family, as always, thank you for joining the Career Clinic. I appreciate you so much. Until next time, y'all. Oh, well, let me say this. I can't roll out of here without talking about everything that I always talk about in closing the show. One, make sure you avail yourself of the events. Go to holycoacher.net/events to make sure you see all events. If, again, you are led to contribute to this nonprofit organization, I invite you to do so, holycoacher.net/donations. If you're an artist and you've been saying, how do I get my music on Holy Culture Radio? How do I get my videos and such on the website? We make it easy for you. And guess what? holycoacher.net/submissions. Last week was the Stellars. Man, we've got events coming up every week. I'm trying to tell you, you do not need to be alone. You need to avail yourself of these opportunities for fellowship, for growth, spending time with other people. Iron sharpens iron. That's what we believe. That's what we do. And so I would tell you, get yourself there. Until next time, be accountable, keep the information, and much peace and love.